All right. Good morning, folks. It's about 3 minutes before 8 o'clock before we start. Let me go record this. And we're going to go live on TikTok soon. We're live on every social media platform that matters. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I forget which other. We're going to be on a couple more broadcasting networks coming soon to a social media channel near you. And let's give it a minute. And I'm gonna also let me bring my dashboard over here so I can see. All right, it looks like it's streaming really good. You guys should be able to hear me well. And let's look at the chats. Good morning, folks. This is the new Service Geek podcast live that we're doing every Monday. We're going to be doing a Service Geek podcast live Mondays to get you started right, get your week in the right mindset, help you succeed, and hopefully train on some things that is important. Bring some live training, answer questions live for our audience that would want to be live. If you also want to be, let me get you the stream link, the participant link. So if in case I'm going to drop the link in here, I won't be able to do it on TikTok because we're not live there via our streaming platform, but we're going to be live there on our streaming platform going soon. And we'll be going live. And 3, 2, 1. Right. To make sure that I also nobody calls on that phone and knocks off, which is the other problem we're having. All right, we're going live. Seriously? You want all this stuff? Add that. Right. Want a topic. I don't want a topic. Just want to go live. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. Always an issue. All right, folks. So let's see here. Hey, good morning from Colorado. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live. This is the new Service Geek Podcast Live, formerly known as the Pest Geek. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to go over a couple of little things, do some housekeeping. We got some courses coming out for the pest control industry, but also for the entire service industry. What I'm going to do is let me share my screen with you so you can see what's coming up. All right. And let's go there. So I've got a new, for the Pest Geek podcast, we got a new ant biology course coming out. It's going to be a very simple ant biology course. This is for basically new technicians that you've already hired, you've already onboarded, they're going to be staying with you, and you want to get them on their path. We're going to be doing a very simple, starting with basic insect anatomy that we're doing, and we're going to be moving through this through all of the species of ants that we have in the US, because in different parts of the country we have different species of ants. So we're going to be bringing that soon. I'm working on that right now. I'm building it, and we're going to be building that to the Pest Geek Academy. So that'll be soon. Today's class, I've got a new master class coming out, from employee to self-employed. This is for people that want to start up. And this is everything that you're going to need in order to start up successfully, which will enable you for any business. This is not just for pest, but also, a second here, plug in my headset in case I got to talk to somebody. For those that want to start up, and what are the things that you're going to need to start up successfully, to where you reduce the errors, the things that you're going to need, that what I found over the last 9-10 years of talking to pest control people that started up, the mistakes they made, the things that we can help you, where the pitfalls are. I mean, I've done it. I've been successfully in the pest control business since 2009 that I started up my company, and which was a multi-service company, because of what I know to do. And then I decided to focus exclusively on nature pests, which I started in 2014. So that's a 10-year-old brand that we've been working on, and we know where the errors are. So that's going to be coming soon. What I'm going to be doing is going over today a little bit of an introduction of what I've done in that class, and what I found with self-employed people that scale. And scaling is, whatever you want to grow, 2 technicians, 3 technicians, 10 technicians, $1 million, $8 million. And over the last 9 years of interviewing hundreds of pest control operators that grew their business, and have grown my own experience in growing my business, and the things that we found that help these businesses scale. So businesses that scale, and why most don't. Most really don't have the experience to scale. And experience matters, and previous experience matters. The average service technician in this industry, in pest control, in sign making, it does not matter what you start up in. You got the technical skills, and the technical skills are up here, but there are no business skills. There's no sales skills. There's no business management skills. There's no people management skills. There's no marketing skills. And why do businesses fail so quickly is because all of this is lacking in them, and they basically get to 150,000 to 250,000. It doesn't really matter what business you're in. That seems to be the number. And you get stuck there, and then you're having to figure out what you're going to do next. In other words, the attitude in most people that start up is because they're reluctant entrepreneurs. They're not budding entrepreneurs. In other words, it was by happenstance and circumstance that you got into self-employed. Usually between that age of 45 to 55 is when it happens. The problem is you've already had an entire career. You're tired, you're exhausted, and now you just want to do your work and be left alone. But some of you want to scale, that start up early. And what we find is that once you start between that 45 to 55, think about it, you only have about 15 more years to 25 more years of work before you're pretty much physically done. At 65, if you happen to be really good at what you do, you can go into lecturing and training and all this, which is a second career after you retire from the physical work. But you have to start, you know, very young in order to scale a business. And what I find is that in this, that DNA matters. Your upbringing matters. I mean, a lot of these guys who start up early as entrepreneurs, they're known as budding entrepreneurs. They started up really early, but there's also a history of entrepreneurship in the family. You know, it's very hard when you grow up with nothing to build yourself up to something, to then take that and that's like the 0.01% of people that you read about, the Elon Musks of the world that have this incredible brain. Those are the rare, but for the average guy like you and me, there has to be more. And what we find is that the education level that you have matters, but the education is not just academic. It's the education you got in life, the education you got in the business world. What did you acquire besides the technical skill? Did you acquire the sales skills, the management skills, the accounting skills, all the business finance skills that you're lacking when you start a business? And what we're trying to do is making sure that those skills are there before you start, if possible, because you can't have the attitude as an entrepreneur that you're going to cross that bridge when you get to it. Because what you'll find is you hit a wall at that point. And so if you're thinking about jumping ship, that you've had enough, you're 30 something and you've had enough, you're 40 something and you had enough, what I want you to do is invest the next 2 to 3 years of your life investing in your education. Whether you go to college, whether you take sales courses online, everything you can take on YouTube right now. You can take sales courses, you can take marketing courses, you can take accounting courses, you can take basic business finance course. We have a basic business finance course that we've already got from a 25-year veteran. Because what we find is you can't do it when you are going to cross that bridge. And what we find is that it's usually the people that grow are between that age of 28 to 35. They started their business right around there. In other words, they didn't start late in life. They're like, no, I've already, worked my way up from a technician to a service, some type of service manager, to a salesperson, to a branch manager, a general manager, a VP, a sales manager, a marketing manager. You have the education that came through experience. And those that scale quickly are young. They can take the hits. They can work the 100-hour weeks like I used to do. And they have already this experience. And you can't take this for granted. If you notice every interview I've done, all of these people that scale have all of this. So in other words, you don't start from nothing. The idea that, oh, I started my business from nothing. And what people think is there was nothing there. I was just, I was homeless. And then all of a sudden I'm a multimillionaire. I mean, that's 0.001%. You always wonder, because it's those people that have, you get gifts and curses in life almost, where you have this incredible gift, but you misuse it and you apply it the wrong way, and then you have to redirect it. So is that possible? Yes, but I know people that will tell you the story that they were alcoholics out on the street, living in their car. They had to get their life together. But if you look at the background, they had the education, that already had a business. They grew up in that business. They knew that business from the ground up, because that's one of the other things, that they grew up in the business and they understood the business and they saw it firsthand, versus the guy who's never seen behind the curtain and looked at the business operations side of things. They've only seen the technical side and they think that's enough. one of the things that you see from the home front is that there's an incredible amount of support at home. Okay. And I mean, not because a lot of people that decide they're going to start up a business, sometimes there is no support. Like wife is like, usually wife at home is like, hey, look, I have my job, I have my career, I want nothing to do with this. That's on you. You're on your own. That's the hard part. If you don't have the support at home, what I notice is there's an incredible amount of support. A lot of the cases, those that grow quickly, the wife usually, because in this business, 99% of the people that start up are men, or in the case, but there was a spouse at home that had the ability to carry the finances at home without them having to worry about having to be the breadwinner. You know, the spouse was making, $80,000-$90,000 a year household income that allowed them to say, we can still live here in this house. Yeah, we're going to have to tighten our belts. I've saved up a little bit of money. Usually the guy starting the business is going to put a lot of things on a credit card, buy a truck on credit, where they're financing a vehicle. They're going to finance the equipment. They're going to finance a lot of things. They're going to start usually several $1,000s in debt before they can get their way out of this. But there's an incredible amount of support where they don't have to worry. All the needs are met. All they got to do is focus on the business and bring that business up. Whether the way you're the breadwinner and the spouse makes less than you, that's an uphill battle the whole way. I mean, that's just really tough to overcome. I know I had to overcome that. The second thing I noticed is that they bring their spouse on board to help. So those that, at one point the business grows so much, they immediately bring their spouse in to be an admin support, to help with phones, to help that. And basically the business is making enough money where now they can still, they're not banking, but they can afford, especially if the spouse was making less. You're now making 50, 60, 70,000 a year. You've been in this 2 years, and now you're making 150, to 200,000 in revenue, and you're making 75, 80,000. She can quit, come over, help you before you have to hire somebody that you have to pay $30,000 a year to. It allows you to take that money, just keep your same lifestyle for another 2 to 3 years, so that now you can start hiring your tech and focusing on the sales. They bring their children on board. Their children usually are at working age. That is a major, major thing when you bring your family on board and you become a family business. It allows you, because you already understand the temperaments. You already understand whether they're going to work or not. There's not a lot of guesswork in hiring your kids. You already know how your kids are. So they're either going to help you or they're not. When the spouse cannot support you, makes it very difficult for you to grow a business. You really have to have the DNA that you are literally, you put the blinders on and you don't see anything, and you just move ahead like a bull. Nothing deters you. An enormous amount of self-esteem, confidence. You're like just that go-getter. You're going to go get it. What happens with a lot of technicians is that if they could have been in the sales business, they would have been in the sales business, but they chose the technical side because they're generally introverted. And now they have to go out and they feel like they have to be extroverted, which is not the case. And we're teaching that in this course, that, you don't have to be extroverted, but you do have to have the skills. And that's different. And the other thing is that they bring on either their spouses or somebody else as partners with business experience. A lot of the time, the spouse brings the business experience because they're in the business world, they're in sales. They bring that experience on board. The second thing is access to cash. You either get a partner that has cash or you borrow the money, because you're going to need lines of credit and you're going to need a lot of cash And scaling a business takes cash. So you bring on partners that have skills that you don't. In other words, the guy with the marketing experience, the sales experience, the part that you don't have, a guys that worked as both in a company, let's say that one was a general manager, the other one was a sales manager. And they decided, they've been in this now 10, 15 years. They decide, let's go together and start a company. Those guys scale quickly because they have the skills. One has the technical and the business skill. The other one has the sales and the marketing skills. Two can put 1,000x on this versus just being a single entrepreneur. Or if you're lucky enough, you inherit the business, but you have the skills that your father didn't have because he was more technically minded. The parent was technically minded. The parent never grew the company for 20, 30 years. They were one or two people, maybe wife and him in the field. And now the kids are of age. And the kids understand this social media thing. They understand the marketing thing. They understand how to go to do things differently. They take over that business, and now that business can scale. One of the most important things that you're going to need early on that most people that don't scale don't have is they don't have mentors. They don't attend networking events that help them grow their business. In other words, they don't need to go take more courses on how to be a better AC technician. They need to go and join, the circle of the top 5 people around you. People that have already been there and can help you get there. And the earlier that you do this, okay, the earlier that you do this, like if you're thinking of jumping ship and starting up in 2 to 3 years, I suggest you start investing in courses to sell and courses to market. Go start attending these conferences. Invest in yourself. Look, education is not free. If you want to go to college for 4 years and get a bachelor's degree, that's $100,000 easy. The idea that technicians have, because they're blue collar, that they do not want to invest money, it's a waste of money. You need to learn to invest in yourself. You need to start buying a ton of books and reading. I recommend everyone that wants to jump ship to read the E-Myth. Profit First. I mean, you should be reading those 2 books. Like from the get-go, like now, if you're planning to jump ship. Because this is going to increase your success rate in staying in business, understanding that it isn't enough. I don't care if you're a house cleaner. I see so many people, usually women, who are frustrated, who are house cleaners, and they're like, I don't know how I'm going to hire people. I'm growing, and I don't know how to deal with the people turning me down on my price constantly. They don't know how to sell. And they're saying, I don't know. I keep quoting and everybody keeps turning me down. What am I doing wrong? That requires an evaluation of your sales skills and being able to close and selling the value and selling the USP. Those are things that we have to look at. I don't know if anybody's got any questions. I'm going to stop there. That's about, let's see here. Yep. So we're going to stop there. And I don't know if anybody's got any questions that they want to ask. I can do it via text. If you want to join me, I dropped the link in the podcast notes. You should have gotten the links there. Let me take a look. Somebody just sent me something real quick here. All right, that's something different. But I don't know if anybody's got any questions they want to post on the notes. Gotta attend PPJ development. Definitely. That's one of the conferences, the Paul J. Bello conference, especially if you're in the pest control industry. I would attend those networks. Start attending industry. I mean, if you've never attended an industry conference, I would attend the industry conferences. The biggest thing you're going to get out of it is the networking, going to have lunch with those people. while you're there. I mean, you're probably not going to get a whole lot from the classes. Honestly, I never did. I got more from the just getting together with people that are from different areas of the country that you're not a threat to. If you get to the local thing, everybody is, in the same industry competing. Nobody wants to give away their secrets. When you find that you have an owner that owns a $3, $4, $5 million company, and you sit down to lunch, and he will tell you a lot of things that you need to know because you're no threat to him. Plus, he already knows that he's already successful. He's secured himself. He's not insecure. Once you get to that level, it's the guy that's making $100,000 a year saying, I'm not giving away any secrets. I was giving away all the secrets 10 years ago when I didn't have hardly anything, because I don't have a lack mentality. I don't have a mentality that says, oh, I'm secure. I know how to go out and sell. I learned to market. I already had the management skills. I understood how to read a P&L. I understood chart of accounts. I understood balance sheets. I understood market analysis. I understood all of this. This is why I was able to build up Nature Pest as a brand, but I already had put in 6-7 years of developing that system. And I develop a franchise model system because that would help me grow, and that it's easier to do it. Anybody else? Who's got a comment, questions? Who needs help? If you're needing help, we are doing startup consulting and growth consulting on that. You can always reach out to me and let me know if that's something that you're needing, some mentoring, some training on that end. We're coming up with the courses to help you handle all of this. All right. Everybody's good. I usually put aside about 30 minutes for these courses. It's going to be about 30 minutes, 8 a.m. every Monday. We'll be doing live everywhere. So we're 10xing this year, by the way. I told you this. We're going to 10x. We're hiring overseas people to handle a lot of the website stuff, website pages to build. I'm writing a lot of the content for the blog. We're hiring people to start doing the interlinking and managing and posting and sharing. We're sharing now. Eric is full-time with me as a marketing person, as a social media guy, to be able to 10x. Here we go. Elliot, hey, I'm a new owner of my own pest control company. I have 40 clients right now, but seems to have issue getting more clients. How would you recommend getting my name out? By doing exactly this, Elliot. I'm teaching an SEO on April 1st. It's not an April Fool's joke, folks. On April 1st, I'm going to be teaching a hyper-local SEO and actually SEM, because we're moving into SEM, search engine marketing. And what I recommend is that you take that class. You also take we have an SEO masterclass for local. I recommend you take that course. That course is about right now 16 lessons. It's pretty intense. I recommend hyper local marketing, Elliot. The reason I recommend hyper local marketing, it is manageable. You can manage your cost, but I would be starting a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel. Okay. Those two. And I would make sure it's on my website. And what I would do is I would be the local expert on everything pest for your city, your town. Don't go trying to reach everywhere. The biggest mistake you're going to make as a new owner, and I'm telling you this from seeing it over and over and over, and I've been preaching this. I was doing hyper local marketing back when I started. I would be in one development, okay? And I would focus on one city. And I would focus everything around that city. And I managed to I was doing 100 accounts in one community. I managed to get a city contract for that city because everybody saw me. Every day in that same area, focus, hyperlocal. GMB, Google My Business, Google Business Profile. You want to be there. You want to do the local. You can do local ads. You can literally go to Facebook, local ads. I'd be in every mommy group, every local community group. I'd be on there giving advice and helping people out. When you give away everything you know, you become the local expert. You cannot be afraid. Stop listening to everybody that's telling you, don't give away any of your knowledge, because people will go do it themselves. People will not go do it themselves. Even if you told them every single thing on how to do it, people are going to shortcut it. People are going to get lazy. People are not going to buy all the products. They're never going to do it right. Become the local expert. You can take YouTube and you can make it hyper local by just focusing in on that city, that town, that county. And go on every single day and post something on site, what you're doing, how you're doing it, why it is that you're doing this on every single place that you're at. In your vehicle, it does not matter. Create content. Content is king. We live in the information age where people are consuming information like it's going out of style, like the second coming of Messiah is coming and everything's going to be done away with. Everybody wants to be learned. Everybody wants to be instructed. People don't want to be pitched. You can literally, your sales pitch is your experience. Your sales pitch is your expertise. This is what I did when I first started Nature Pest. It was a blog, and it was YouTube and Facebook. Now we're on every single platform. But if you do that, Elliot, in 1 year, and then you focus on being on every group, every community group, everything that's local, start doing everything local. Figure out where you can get local in your community. I hope that helps. Let me see here. I'm going to got about another minute and I'm going to quit. So if you got your questions, get them in. Looks like Facebook's is my biggest. I've got a bunch of people on TikTok. Hey, you guys on TikTok, I love you. I'm going to be having it on this platform pretty soon. We're doing it off of my phone because, people who, TikTok has these rules that you first have to do it like this, and then you got to get so many people, and then, you got to, then we can do it through the app for the streaming. So I don't know if there's anything else. If not, I'm going to quit, call it a day. I got a podcast interview we're going to be doing at 10 a.m. I'm going to broadcast that one live too, by the way, because we're going to be streaming everything live. But a bed bug prepping service. This lady started up a bed bug prepping service because she figured out people wouldn't prep and pest control companies didn't want to do it. So she started up this bed bug prepping business, and this thing is amazing. So I'm going to have her on, hopefully, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. today. So stay tuned at 10 a.m. if you want to listen to that interview live. We're going to be doing it live and recording it. By the way, pestgeekpodcast.com. Coming soon, servicegeekpodcast.com. And the Service Geek Podcast is going to be also live. And we're also starting a business network. Been talking about that for years. So this is going to be for local. That's another thing you can do, Elliot. What you can do is you can basically create a network group. Get a list of all of the AC guys, all of the plumbing guys, all of the home inspectors. Get a hold of everybody in your city that is a service person, because you can exchange leads with them. These guys are going into home every single day. Create a reward program. Say, hey man, everybody you refer me, $150. Make it worth their while. Why? Because what you don't understand is it's going to cost you in marketing $150 to $250 to acquire a qualified customer. And then you have the cost of sale. A referred customer is going to sell. Give them the first initial price, eat it, okay? Eat it, and then keep the recurring revenue, because don't sell it without a recurring revenue. Recurring revenue is your friend. Stop selling one-time services. Give them $150. Says, look, every customer you refer to me, $150 if I sell it. And now it has to be sold. I'm not going to pay you for leads. But if you refer somebody to me, $150. All right, this is Frank the Pest Geek and Frank the Service Geek wishing you a pestacular day.